He's going to leave us next month. He's already told me.
Oh, you already have?
Going to be out of the country.
Oh.
We on there?
I'd like to welcome you to the February Golf Advisory Meeting. First item on the agenda is approval of the November 8th meeting minutes.
I don't remember November, but I approve them.
Okay, do we have any discussion? Can anybody remember? I did review them and they did check out when I reviewed them, so I thank you. All those in favor? Jerry has Jim's proxy.
And I have David Grass.
You have Dave's proxy, okay. Thank you. At this time, we have the pleasure of the Futures Cup presentation.
Yeah.
Dave?
It is with great honor, on behalf of 72 of my closest friends and cohorts, we had our 4th annual Futures Cup this year. And it is held in October of every year. This last year we had another wonderful tournament, won for the 3rd out of the 4th year by the red team, captained by Larry Apathy. I've already congratulated Charlie Powell of the blue team for his 2nd place finish. But all these guys, I just can't thank them enough because a large part of their donation goes back to what we're going to provide for the POA and for junior golf moving forward. Last year we were able to give $5,000 as a donation. This year I'm proud to say we're going to up that to $6,000. So on behalf of the Futures Cup, Mr. Muldoon, thank you very much. And I just want to thank, we couldn't do this without Daryl and his staffs, Alex and everybody, all that they do, including Leslie, who helps us provide, I buy caps for everybody. Through my association with Cry-Like Realtors, I personally sponsor a big portion of this, but it's also the guys that play and participate and are willing to know that they're not playing for a big grand prize or anything, that most of the money that they donate is going to go towards this. And Daryl, maybe you can talk about maybe how this money can be utilized to improve the game of golf, and that's why we call it the Futures Cup, because we want to look toward the future of golf in Bella Vista.
Awesome, thank you very much. It goes so far, it goes a long way. First of all, the tournament is fun. It's a great thing on Sunday, watching them all come in, all mouthing each other and seeing who's beat who and where it's going. It gets always down to the last 3 games, which is phenomenal. So thank you for putting this on. Thank you to my team for supporting this. But the big one is where this money goes. And one of it is Operation 36, which is just not juniors golf. It's a program we buy from the PGA that helps us with all golfers. All levels of golf, new to golf, all the way through to your single digits if you want to work. Our pros utilize it all year long, and the response this year is phenomenal. I'm going to give a shout out. You didn't know about this, but I was just down at the PGA show, and Ryan Summers, one of our PGA professionals that utilizes Operation 36, got top 50 instructor in the country.
Wonderful.
So that was here in Bella Vista. So I'm going to give a shout out. He's actually down in Florida right now. When he gets back in March, we will get him up here and we'll give him his award. So that was huge.
That's great.
But not only Operation 36, our junior camps. As our junior camps are growing, we're seeing the demographic change. They are packed. Alex does a great job. He gets hats for them all. He gets gifts. He gets toys, forest medals, golf balls, and then we do a pizza party and swimming. That's massive. And that's all from this fund. Taking it a step further, we're hosting an ASGA junior event up at Highlands. It's a 4-ball tournament going on. They couldn't do it without these funds because it costs money to put that on, and they're coming all the way up here. So that's another event. And then we got one more. We are going to help out with Gravitt School for the uniforms and golf balls for the season. Gravitt School does a lot with the Futures Cup. They sit there on the par 3s and hit golf balls. So we're gonna give back to them a little bit. So this money is utilized and spent very fast. I appreciate it all.
Daryl, thanks for your cooperation. And, we've had the last 3 years, we've had the junior golfers from the Gravette High School team help us on Saturday, and they man the par threes and they hit a shot for us. And if it's better than our shot, we get to use it. And so it's great. And most of the time it is better than our shot. I said this year with the extra money that we're able to donate, I said, I really want to do something, if it's possible and it's legal for us to do it, we want to also help out the Gravette High School golf team. So we're really happy to do that as well. Yeah, thank you.
Dave, before you sit down, on behalf of the committee here and all of the golfing community, we want to thank you as well as your entire 96 team, how important this is, that you're feeling that it's needed and to give back, because it could be a tournament of your own, and you've elected to do this, and being the 4th year, it's impressive.
Yeah,
so we thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth. That was our goal at the very beginning when we started the Futures Cup. I said, hey guys, we could do this, and we could just keep it in-house and have big prizes and everything, but I don't know about you, but I feel like giving back to the community. And every one of these guys said, yes, I'm in. And we started with 24 guys the first year, and like I said, the last 2 years each, we've had it at 72. I don't know if we're gonna grow it, we'll see, we might. I'm open to that if we get enough interest, but I think there's a few guys on the Golf Ops Committee here that play in it, Jerry, Gary, and I think they would agree that, it's a really fun event. It's a 3-day event in October, and so far the Lord has blessed us with perfect weather all 4 years, so let's hope that continues.
We appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Keith, can we move into maintenance reports with you?
Yeah, first thing, I want to congratulate him on it too, because I think what's cool about that and what Daryl's doing, I've worked at a lot of places and junior golfers tend to be pushed to the side because they get in the way. And this growth of junior golf here is our future. So great job by everybody involved.
Thank you.
Maintenance standpoint, not a whole lot going on even since November, but I would say driving around, I think our golf courses are very clean. We've got as good as they've looked. The only place I saw any real weed problems was on Brittany Tees, where they have Poana. It looks like it's overseeded, so you could just tell everybody we overseeded it. But no, not seriously. That's a free golf course, so we haven't got in there and sprayed that yet, but we will. But that's really the only place I saw anything. We're working on some tree removal. 3 big sycamores when we get back to opening Scottsdale, which we'll talk about probably here later, maybe open it a little earlier than the plan, weather permitting. When you go down 9, those big ones that were on the left side, they were all dead. We got them taken down. It's a different look now, so down the road we might have to consider planting something over there to just Scottsdale, just to frame the hole better than it is now. Now it's like, it looks really different for sure. So you'll notice that. We're cutting down quite a few dead trees at Bella Vista Country Club too, but none of them that have that kind of impact. So the reason we're doing those now, we do that stuff while the courses are closed in their normal 2-week cycle, because then we don't get in the golfer's way. When weather allows, we're out of the way, and that's done. It's a safety issue and all of that. So good job for that. We've had to, Scottsdale, for example, we had to bring a company in to bring those down because they were so big, but we're going to haul them off. So we minimize our contract labor by doing it that way. All of our, what I call teeing equipment, many of you may not know what I'm talking about. It's like markers, poles, anything that needs to be spruced up is ready to go, and it will be put back out around March 1st if it hasn't already, so that when we start the year, we start clean, fresh, everything, new coat of paint, all that. So we've gotten that done. We've had plenty of time to do crafts, and they're ready to not do crafts anymore, to be honest, so I think we're good. The only other thing that was going to be a little bit different this year, the aerification schedule for the bentgrass courses typically is in the middle to the end of April. This year it got moved up into March, end of March, a little bit because of golf and needs to have the golf course for tournaments, things like that. So the only concern I have with that is if we get a little cold snap in there, it might take a little longer for the holes to heal over, but maybe Mother Nature will cooperate with us and we won't have that issue. So be prepared for that. Scottsdale obviously gets done in June, so we can all go over to Scottsdale and play by then if we want to, and then we'll have the holes in there. So that's really my course condition. Well, I have not, I will say this, even though we got cold, we looked at some of the collars and we pulled out some plugs, because after the cold weather, I was concerned about some of that. So far, all of that looks good. So hopefully we won't have the issues we've had in the past with winter kills. So we don't get some kind of crazy weather between now and then. So we'll see how it goes. So that's what I had there. Anybody have any questions about golf course conditions or anything they've seen out there before I go to the next thing? Okay, well, golf course conditions, we had a nomination and some support from various people in this room and some of our other members, and we won the 2023 Golf Course of the Year through the Arkansas Turfgrass Association. That association covers all turf. It does sports fields, it does commercial properties, it does all kinds of golf courses, private. What's unique about ours is that's a single golf course typically, but they selected all of our golf courses because they're all good, so it's kind of a neat award. It's got the wrong name on there, so they're doing my name doesn't need to be on there. They're going to do a deal in the marketing that's going to really point out who it is that does the work. Call all the superintendents and their staffs, because they're the ones that are responsible for that award. So congratulate them on that. It's an awesome award.
Keith, on behalf of all of us that golf here, I couldn't agree more with that award. The course last year, all the courses last year were in phenomenal shape. You and all of your course superintendents and all the guys and gals that work under them can't thank you enough. Like I said last year, we have country club conditions with public course pricing, and it is really, really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty special to be able to do that after last year. A couple things that happened to us weather-wise, which would give me the opportunity for you to bring that up. I've got a year-end report. I won't read the whole thing to you, but it's been sent to you, but there's some key points on there that are interesting. And now's a good time to talk about rainfall, high and low, and how it varies. People sometimes wonder why we're on a path in one place and not at another. Well, the snow that we just had demonstrates how things vary, because, you know, up in the Highlands, they had like 5 inches, and it was still there yesterday when we had the other golf courses. So always keep that in mind. That's relatively close. Those numbers are relatively close to average year. So we didn't have a real unusual year. We had 2 dry months, April and November. April's not a real good month to be dry. We had less than an inch in those 2 months. So that was a little concerning. And then we had our wettest month was March, and that's when we had the flood during that time. The hottest temperatures, we reached 105 at one of the golf courses 2 times, and we had 4 days over 100 and in that month of August, and then we had 6 days total. Since I've been here, that's the most we've had in a year that we hit 100. So the weather patterns and the extremes seem to be more noticeable now. Next thing I'd probably go, you know, there's highs and lows, nothing like we had the year before. We've had 5 inches of snow. The valley courses were closed that 38 days because you see March 24th we had the flood, which caused all the courses to close. And what's interesting about the flood, most damage that we had to repair was actually at Scottsdale from the water that came over Loch Lomond and washed out some cart paths and an irrigation line and all that. So if you go to the next page, you can see that we spent about $50,000, not counting our labor, to make those repairs. And the winter kill was a bigger one, and that goes back to 2022 December, the flash freeze we had that really did a lot of damage. So we had a lot of sod and contractor works there. We put probably at least 12 semis of sod out on all the golf courses, mostly collar areas, low cut areas, things like that. So we're hoping we don't get that. We did do some good projects. We did a little more tee box work at Kingswood and Highlands in-house. And we had some materials left over, so we were able to do it in-house. So we improved a couple tees there. We stabilized the pump station here, and you can see the riprap and stuff that goes around there. Now, we haven't had any major events since then, but I'm feeling pretty good about how that's going to hold up. We did a little bit of asphalt cart repairs at Highlands, and then we did to the maintenance facility and then in village wastewater. Not so much for us, the maintenance facility, but there's a lot of traffic of our membership and people that live in the city that use that. And we split those costs between village wastewater, and Cooper pitched in a little bit too. And then the only piece of equipment we bought, we got a new top dresser for Scottsdale, which he loves because it's not a pull behind unit. It fits on a cart, so it's a lot less risk. It's less dangerous to get out there and top dress and worry about turning over that cart. So he's been very pleased with that. We removed the bridge at Burkesville. It closed in 2016. We removed it last year. That's it. It takes us a while. And then we did some construction to get ready for the 10-year project by putting a new tee on the back of the driving range at Highlands to help with the teaching. And Daryl may want to speak a little bit to that, but it's going to be ready spring to open up so that they have an area to teach and do club fitting, because that tee at Highlands is not very big compared to what it was at Tenure. And 70,000 buckets of balls at Highlands is going to be, it's not that many, it's probably 35 at Tenure. It's going to be interesting.
So the back tee is just used for teaching and club fitting?
Yes.
Oh, maybe we should talk about it later, but where's the simulators you do for club?
Okay, so that's what I have on there, and I had bad news at the last staff meeting, and I have
just a little bit more.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's see. Oh, member interaction, yes, this is very important, I'm glad I didn't forget it. We had 2 divot days from Dogwood and Highlands, where that is these groups, those are things that really benefit us and the golfers when they do that. So we really appreciate that work. And then the Dogwood group, we have been putting money in to upgrade the break area for the employees at that course, and it kept getting moved. They donated a bunch of money for new tables, stainless steel shelving. It really looks nice in there. They did a really great job, and that staff just made them all perk up. We continue to do wildlife things for the Audubon, and then of course I already mentioned the last one there. So project updates. It's really not our project, but it's an interesting update. 340 the bridge. I reported last week at our senior staff that they let the entire bunch go till March, but we kind of went down there and found one of the foremen and said, that really doesn't work very well for us. So now supervisors are the people that are working on those bridges. They cut the tunnel today. It's cut to where it's supposed to go. So hopefully next week we'll get the new concrete put in there while the golf course is closed, because we're closed all next week. So if they can get that done, we'll never have to change the traffic around again. That's my hope, and that's why I pushed for it to get them over there, because you get him busy in April or March and you start really playing a lot of golf, it becomes a real hassle for everybody, golf hops and everybody. So hopefully they'll get that done. Not promising that, but they've got the tunnel cut. That's a step in the right direction. So once that's done and they get all their stuff hauled out, we'll start rebuilding that back tee on 6. And then when we bring sod in the spring, we'll have it sitting there so it can settle out, and we'll sod that when we do some other work with sod at the same time to get it shipped to us. And that money, by the way, was given to us back. We received a check in 2021 for the cost of doing those repairs. So we received the money and have used it for other things, but we did get, it's not really our cost. So we were reimbursed by the state. So that's my report.
Questions for Keith? Thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. Daryl?
All right. I'm going to go on and just shout out the 2023 end of year numbers. And it goes on with golf courses being in pristine condition. And what David said, we are cheaper prices, value is what we give on a great product. So we finished the round at 203,000, or the year, 203,243. I haven't seen us at that. That is 32,000 over last year. It's crazy. It's a whole nother golf course round. So phenomenal job. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, everybody. Thanks to my pros for all the hard work they do, the superintendents, and sometimes the patience of the membership trying to find their preferred tee time as well. It does get challenging. As far as pro shops, we finished at 115% to budget, which was a very lofty goal set, and we got it and we achieved it. Thanks to the membership for sponsoring and supporting, not sponsoring, supporting Leslie and the pro shops that we have. And it's phenomenal to see the products we get. We had a great PGA show, and we've got some new products heading our way, so it's going to be pretty exciting on that. Range buckets, I'm going to correct Keith, and he's going to get embarrassed. It's 80,000 rounds of golf. Buckets of balls. 10,000 more. That's a lot. That's 16,000 over last year. And that, I'm gonna point that out. That doesn't include our teaching buckets. So when we teach and we go out there, we get our buckets, we don't count those either. And I know my pros are teaching a lot out there growing the game of golf. So that doesn't include that, but those are 2023 numbers. I want to thank everybody for a successful year. Support is big, but let's move on to expectations of 2024. What are we going to do? I mean, it's a big number to hit. We're going to continue growing golf, growing our programs, promoting stuff, and that's what we got to stick with. It's working. The biggest thing that is going to be challenging to our membership is Tanya Creek being closed. That has started, work has started down there. We're getting rolling. The demo of the building's coming up soon, and then we start moving into everything that we're going to get going. It is going to put people out. I've already had emails. I've had people saying, you know, this is crazy. I've got to drive. Or is this an exaggeration? I've got to drive an hour and a half to go to hit range balls. No, you live down here by Country Club. It's just 20 minutes that way. But once again, it's going to be tied up. Seeing the range on busy days, Alex has called me. He says, come look at the range, and it's packed. We put in the golf update that there's a bag drop. You can swing by, drop your clubs off. We do have push carts there. You can push over to the range, get a bucket. We're going to give a bucket out at a time, just one, so you don't have people hogging bays because you got to share. The other thing too is we've had people say, well, there's golf carts there. Golf carts are for the golfers to go out and play golf. That's what that's for. So please be patient. I know we're putting out for a little bit, but what's to come is going to be fantastic. So with that said, getting on to what Gary's got at Highlands, we're all going to do club fittings. Teaching is all going to be on the back of the range. We saw this coming. We knew that we couldn't sit there. Would be bad if we were trying to teach and I'm taking a bay up with somebody hitting and we've got a 45-minute lesson going on with everybody around. We're not doing that. So Highlands, Greg and Keith and myself, we've got a nice back tee there, kind of by 18 tee box. That is for pros only. For membership that have lessons, they'll check in at the pro shop. The pro will come and get them and bring them out there. It'll be a good time to kind of discuss what the lesson's about, and we kind of go from there. All our fittings will be done there. I have a mobile simulator that we will set up that connects to an iPad, so the data we're getting is just as good as what we had in the past. In fact, it's newer. It's come with our new system that we'll be putting in at Tanya Creek. So we're going to break it in. We're going to learn about it all right now. We actually busy learning this week with it, just came in. So that's kind of exciting. So fittings, club fittings, teaching will all be the same. We won't skip a beat, and we'll go from there.
What about all the demo equipment that you have to try out shafts and heads? It's going to be out there? Or?
It's going to be out there. Now, this year's going to be different. We're not going to let people to go take clubs out on the golf course or hit, because we're in one contained area. That's going to be a little bit different. But get with the pros. I will have, because Hannah is not over a facility. She'll be available up there all the time. She can say, hey, I want to demo this club. We can sit up, you can hit it on that tee box. You've got to be with a pro. I can't let that stuff go out. Yeah. Where Tanya Creek, you go onto the range, you walk straight back in, you give it in. It's a long drive across it. So that's going to be a little different.
Is all that demo equipment going to be in the garage, or is it going to be a separate?
I'm not telling you where I'm storing it. It's a secret. All right, I don't want to be.
Everybody else will know.
It's under lock. It's under lock and key. And if you actually go out there, you'll see where we're going to be storing it. We've got a plan, and it's all going to be under lock and key. As soon as we get back to Tanya Creek, it'll be a whole different deal where you can get it, check the clubs out. This year is going to be different, but we're going to have more hands on deck for people to try out the clubs. And it's kind of the way we're doing. You know, we had to do the same thing. Is we had to scale back on our demos because we don't have enough room in our pod to store everything and all that type of stuff. In the new Tanya Creek, we're going to have 2 big bays. We'll have sections. It'll be a lot better. So this is a growing year well, not a growing year. It's going to be an awkward year. As we go through, we'll make changes and we'll develop a better system as it goes.
Do we schedule then the demos?
Yes.
So
you get with a pro.
Just go by at the pro shop and
get with the pro. Email the pro if you want to try out the new cutaways. Yeah. Reach out to Hannah and say, hey, what day will you be at the range? I want to hit the new smoke driver, whatever it is. Yeah. Boom, boom, and she'll set it up and we'll go with that. And it's going to have to be scheduled. I can't have 20 people showing up on a tee box the size of this table
Right.
and saying we want to hit it. So it'd be exactly the same. That we'll use the monitor if needed, and that's where it's going to go.
Is Hannah gonna be primarily out there then?
Yes, that's correct. So inconvenience, we'll get there, but I think it's okay. It's growing pains to make this place better. Another thing is coming in 2024 that is I was at the PGA show and we did a little round table and we talked about new to golf and bringing back some reminders of etiquette. So I got with marketing and I got with one of my favorite pros that loves to be in front of crowds and on TV. And we all know who that gentleman is. And he's going to jump up and we're going to do little golf etiquette blurbs, have some fun with it, talk about what we can do and help people understand, pace of play, fixing pitch marks. And we're going to put it on the golf update, run it for a couple of weeks, and we'll do another one, pop it up there, and we'll build a library that we can share with people. We'll put it on the web page. So I've got with marketing, Paul's drawing up, that's who it is. We're going to draw up a little table and I'm going to get in there and we're going to have some fun with it. Technology is the way it's going. This came out of the PGA show and some of the clubs have started it and it's taking off and we're going to jump on the bandwagon for 2024 and I think it's going to be fun. Be fun to see, and doesn't mean because you're young you need to look at it, or if you're new to golf, I recommend all our membership to look at it too, because some of the stuff has been forgotten about. So it's not age related, it's just golf. Check it out, have fun with that. So that's kind of expectations for 2024. One of the big expectations, as you saw, I gave everybody the tournament list for 2024. These are our POA events, that we'll be hosting. One thing I want to point out real quick, you will see Greenskeeper's Revenge is back. So we've had a lot of requests for that, and I've spoken to Mr. Scott Hansen over there, and he's excited to bring it back, and we're going to do something a little different out there. Just to make everyone aware that you'll see this list is on the website, and 6 weeks out on the Friday is when the signups will be going live. We don't put up all the signups out now, we put them 6 weeks out. Otherwise, we collect all the money, then people cancel and do all this type of stuff. So we keep it within 6 weeks. So people are ready. Trust me, I've had people saying, oh, I'm going to play in the old times. Why can't I sign up? Or in the Greenkeeper, just went on 6 weeks out on the Friday. We'll put it on the golf update, and then you'll see the online registration. We'll click on and go from there. Second thing on this part, we're going to do something different this year. Each one of the golf professionals I have challenged. So if they have a golf, like say for instance, spring 3-person at Dogwood, it's the first one coming up. Jimmy is going to be running it, first time running an event. The guy is chopping at the bits. He has got creative. We've got a band. We have got a closest to the pin contest after the round over water from a different position that no one's ever seen. We've got good food from Wright's Barbecue. So I've challenged every pro this year. Instead of Alex, and he's done a great job for 4 to 5 years running him, every pro will be in charge of their event this year. And we're going to see some different creativity, different features. So if you think that, say for instance, the prostate cancer coming up is going to be the same 4-person scramble, it might not be. So look out. Have a look at the registration form when it gets out there. Read it, pay attention to what's going on, and things are going to change this year. We'll see how it goes. It's time to shake it up a little bit, and they have really, every one of them is in my office every week. I'm going to try this. Okay, that's great. Let's do it. Let's see where it is. So I'm excited for the tournaments in 2024. First one is 3-person. We just made it live, and we already got 8 to 10 teams have already entered. So we do have a limit on all the events. So sign up as quick as you can. All the dates. We've got AJGA coming back again. It's exciting. Any questions for me? That's about all I got.
Just how's the schedule for tenured? Is that, with the weather, is it delayed or we're still looking?
It's probably delayed.
Yeah,
we don't want to make any commitments, but permitting has been a challenge from the state and so forth. And so, yeah, it's probably going to be delayed, and we'll have a better idea as we get further into the project.
Okay, another thing pointed out, he's getting me back for pointing out the 10,000 rounds. I forgot, Golf Expo. We are getting back to some type of normal. Golf Expo is on March 12th at the Rec Center. For those that don't remember what the Rec Center is, it's the old Ridden Hall. It's over there. What it is now, I want to be very vocal about this. It is not an expo for sale of merchandise. It is for golf groups, for people that want to come in and see what the golf groups are going on. Years ago, we used to buy things for $10 and sell them for $1 and lose money. We've changed that. We haven't had it for a while. This is for golf groups to sit down there as a group leader, for members to walk through and say what day of the week they want to sign up for, learn about the groups, and say, I'm in on that one, I'm in on that one. And we're going to do it from 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock at the Rec Center. Come in, walk around, see everything, for them to promote it, promote their groups. That's one thing that's so unique in Bella Vista. Everywhere I go, you have that many? We have 104 summer golf groups. And they're like, really? That's crazy. 104 people? No, 104 groups. And a group is a massive size of people playing golf every day of the week. So that's happening, and it's good to bring it back. I think it's going to help a lot of the associations as well highlight and show what they have with their groups.
Can I just say something about the golf groups? I think it is one of the coolest things about golf in Bella Vista, because it helps people that move here from wherever to acclimate themselves to our community in a much quicker way than they normally would. Instead of just showing up at the golf course and hoping you get paired with, a group of 3 like-minded individuals, you can join these golf groups and you can all of a sudden have 30, 40, 50 friends within a few weeks. And it really, all the guys that, I've helped move into Bella Vista, I get them involved in these golf groups and they're all like, that is the coolest thing. And they've made friends, and now their couples it's just great. So I know there are some people who say golf groups are nuts, but they're not. This is the way of the future, and it's what we should be doing. And I applaud you, Daryl, for supporting it. And it's just a really, really fun time for all these groups.
Is there a way or time associated with that you could talk about some of the key issues we had, like cart on path, ball marks, things like that? Or is that not appropriate there?
Not at this one. That's where we're going to be doing the etiquette classes and the little snippets and putting it out there. Previously we used to go in there and take up the big room, and they would have merchandise sale on the back, and we used to have a group leader meeting in another room that literally would fill up the room double the size, because 104 groups plus the assistant in there, and some of the groups have more than one assistant, and it was crazy. And we would sit there and we'd do a presentation. This year we're not. It's all about the golf group showing up. Group leaders, I'll be communicating with them, all that type of stuff. And then I think the etiquette, we're going to try this way where it's all mobile, where people can have a look at that. And we'll kind of roll from that as we go through the year and refresh it, because March 12th, by June 2nd, they're probably forgotten. So we'll go on and we'll just keep reminding them. That's what we're going to do.
We're going to talk more about that later too. Go ahead.
That's all I got, if nobody's got questions.
Do you have Alex?
That's Alex
you
with the
got it?
tournaments. Yeah, those. Sorry, I didn't speak in Alex's tongue, but I talked about the tournaments. All right.
We forgot to introduce Alex ahead of time. Any questions for Daryl? Sounds like a busy year, and we're going to talk more about several of these things a little later on, so keep that in mind. Tom, you're up.
I just wanted to give everybody an update. I think everybody is aware that Keith will be retiring in about, 2 months now? How many days? You got it figured out? Close to 90 days. So we hired a consulting firm who did a national search. Over the last 3 days, we had 6 interviews. The search committee did. Ruth joined us on behalf of the entire golf committee, and Keith joined us, and Daryl and several other people. We have narrowed the field down to 2 candidates, and we hope to bring them back, the 2 candidates back for a second interview in the next 1 or 2 weeks. And so we're making some really good progress. We're very pleased with the candidates as a whole. And we'll let you know more, well, probably at next month's meeting, we'll probably have an announcement. So, any questions?
Anything else?
I think we're all tired of meetings, though. We've had about 10 hours of meetings over the last 3 days, so we're tired of being inside.
Okay, any questions for Tom? Jeff? Jerry? Anything? Okay, thank you. Any comments or emails come in? Any comments from the people? Nothing today? We appreciate you being here. We thank you. Old business. Resumes, resuming course reports in April. We are still in the winter session right now, so we've kind of let that go until April, which brings us down to the new business. We have several things to look at. Number one, let's go back to the Greenskeeper Revenge. Each of you are assigned a course, except for Camilla and Dave, and I will ask you to do something else. It would be really exciting if you would get a group within your course or people from your area in your course, and you two get to choose whatever course you want, and get a group to play in the Superintendent's Revenge, and maybe pit one community against another community, or one group, one course against another course, just out of fair play and fun time. I mean, there would be no sideline bets or anything of that nature on it.
Are you going through Vegas on this? Or
No,
anything,
sir.
Ruth?
No, sir.
Well,
I'm simply saying that I think it'd be a fun idea is to get some groups going and have a good time and bring it up. And I think the more we participate in things, the more we can get other people to participate as well. So if you want to think about that, we'll have more time to talk about that. But at this time, if you want to look at that, Superintendent's Revenge was kind of fun last time they put it on, and it's altogether different. It's not something you normally see. So people have a good time at it. If you want to pick a few golfers that aren't probably your top golfers, they have as much fun as anybody. So
Is there a fly route on it yet?
no, 6 weeks out. But I'm just,
6 weeks out is when everything gets put out, yes.
but I'm just asking you to go ahead and plan some stuff ahead of time. It come to our attention that not everybody in the golf committee has name tags. A few of you still do from the past, and I'm going to pass these around real quickly. If you don't have a name tag, if you would put your name as you would like it on a name tag, and Daryl will take care of that for us. We need to be more visible, and I think that probably the Golf Expo is a real good place to start. I think it's important to support the group leaders. As Dave said, how important the groups themselves are. They bring in new golfers as well as face to new people. And I think that's a big thing in and of itself. Not everybody knows the golf committee. Not everybody knows who you are, who's on it, or anything about it. So I am going to ask that each of you plan to attend the expo. And I'm going to give you kind of an idea of possibilities that you can help out. There's always setup for some groups. They bring in stuff, they need help bringing in stuff. Meet the new people, talk to new people as they come in, talk to the group leaders, make yourself available so people know we're here. And people know that the golf committee supports the Golf Expo itself, as well as the new groups and new people coming in. And if we're visible and people see it, they'll be more inclined to come up and ask you questions and participate, etc. So I think it's a major deal. And if you would be so kind to do that, since we're still in the winter mode, I would be happy to suggest that we trade the March meeting for the expo. So if we go the 12th, we won't have the 13th meeting. Does that sound like a trade-off?
That's good.
That I think we can be more valuable at the expo than have a meeting when we're still in the winter mode.
We have an objection, this is last meeting.
No, his last meeting's in April. Oh, maybe? Okay. Well, we'll work out something, Keith, trust
Wait a
us.
minute, you gotta come back in April. I don't wanna cry right now.
Well, we'll work something out, Keith. Trust me, we'll work something out. So, but if that's a fair trade, if that's a fair trade, I'd like to suggest that we do that. Are there any objections to trading the 12th for the 13th?
No objection.
And everybody's willing to come and participate in the expo. I think if you're there by 3:30 to help set up, it would be a good idea. And help them bring stuff in, set up, we'll get them organized where they need to be, etc. I'm sure Jessica and some of your staff will be there. And
We'll have all our staff there at 3 o'clock, and we would love for them all to meet you guys too. I know you see them out and about, but as a community, as a group together, it'll be really good to kind of hang out, help the group leaders too.
all right, let's change the time to 3:15. That way your group gets the time to start in, to get organized, and then we'll come in. So at 3:15, if you plan to be at the rec center, and we'll just go from that, but we'll cancel or postpone the meeting on the 13th. Clear with everybody? I will send out further information as well, so. We'll get you information to you. Okay. So, anything else on that? Anything else for new business? Since we took care of the March meeting too, we're gonna turn around, and if there's no further information, you've all got time to hit your dinner dates and get your Valentine's something before Valentine's Day is up. Next regular golf meeting then will be Wednesday, April 10th at 4 o'clock here in the boardroom, and we'll see you all the 12th of March at the rec center. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.